Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 1 officially premiered on Netflix this weekend. Welcome back to the Voiceovers Podcast. I'm 24K Logan.
Hey, right, man.
Bro, did they do the damn thing or not?
I mean, they definitely, they was on it, but like, man, I can't believe that. So it was like roughly a year ago I started the series, and then I started the series, and then it ends at 5, and then, of course, just roughly a year later, I'm picking up with Season 6, but then it's part 1, 2, 3.
Exactly.
It's like, oh man. But the bright side is, I get at least get more Cobra Kai throughout the year, because I'm guaranteed we would have finished it by now.
The drama, they really brought the drama with this.
Yeah,
and the fact that they were able to, at one point in the show, a lot of people had worked out their differences. Whether we're talking Johnny and Daniel, Robbie and Miguel. A lot of people worked out their differences earlier in the show, and now it's like old wounds are coming back, and you have this divide between the Miyagi-Do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's basically what it was. Cause like as soon as Season 5 ended, I was like, dude, everybody literally just squashed their beef out in the world. They're gonna enter a world tournament, and then I'm like, okay. When I noticed that, it was like they have to add new antagonists. So I see whoever Kreese is training. That's going to be the guys who they fight. I'm like, cool. Yep. I can rock with that.
Badass villains, by the way.
Yeah, and also Cobra Kai. That's the name of the show. I'm like, well, you got to have a dojo somewhere. Of course, Kreese is not far from going.
Yeah.
And one thing I noticed, now, I'm not hating on the show, but one thing I noticed, it hit different in the first 2 seasons when it was just Miguel and Johnny. They were first, like, getting to know each other, and then he was, like, his star student. For some reason, I feel like Miguel was so overshadowed by everyone else's first part. Like, I
agree.
I get it. I really want Robbie to win the tournament, so I'm really rooting for him this season. And then Tori and Sam, I guess they rekindled their or starting to kindle a friendship, you should say. Everyone else is, basically, if you're a main character, you're a great fighter at this point, but it sucks that they limited the amount of people who can see fight this season. And it's cool, but like, dang, man, Miguel Cholo, he's my favorite character in the show.
For sure. Hawk is my favorite, and Robbie is the only one that doesn't have a title yet. Yeah. Out of the male fighters, at least.
Yeah. Miguel won that first. He went crazy in that one against Robbie.
Yes.
Hawk had beat Robbie in the second Grand Valley tournament. So yeah.
Yep. And, as far as the drama goes, from a writing standpoint, it's the final season. It kind of makes sense how they're doing it. What I was very surprised to see is the fact that Miyagi has a past that we knew nothing about, a past that we didn't expect. I didn't expect him to be a part of a robbery. Now, the only thing about it, I feel that there's still some more details to come about that. For all we know, it might not be what it looks like. Maybe, it's a deeper story to it and he just had to go along with the flow. But it is very shocking considering the type of character that Miyagi was, about honor, integrity, respect. It is kind of weird that they would write that in, but I guess it's one of those things like everybody has a past, and Miyagi was a changed man by the time he met Daniel LaRusso. Yeah. So it makes sense how they did that.
Yeah. Oh, I just got reminded of another fun detail. So this season, we could have been got this season like a little while ago.
Yes.
But remember the writer strikes last year?
Yep.
They had filmed the first episode. I think the first episode was done filming, and then this writer strike happened. They halted production, and then it ended. I forgot when it ended. And then they basically picked back up there, and then they filmed it, and then here we are now. But it's crazy because we could have been got this. Now I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying it's a weird 360 moment right now.
Yeah, I agree. And I was one of the people that when they announced Cobra Kai in the beginning, anybody that knows about me or you've been to this channel before, I'm not a big fan of sequels or prequels unless we're talking about Tobey Maguire Spider-Man Part 4. But no, I'm just not that big on sequels and bringing back old projects. I'm all for paying homage, but I'm just not that big on sequels overall. And when they announced they were doing Cobra Kai, I was very skeptical. I was more against it than I was for it. But when I actually had watched the show, I said, okay, they did this. They brought they made references to the original while being able to tie it into modern day terms, basically.
Yeah, and I remember they had it on It was on YouTube Originals at first.
Yes.
So
that was weird.
Yeah, because YouTube Originals, YouTube Red, it was trying to do this little thing. It's like cool, but then they had shut that down. I forgot they had shut it down because I was watching the first 2 seasons and I realized how different it looked. Yep. And I guess Netflix bought them out and they continued it. But it's crazy because when it came out, everybody didn't have YouTube Red. And in the past few years, I had Netflix. I just never looked at Cobra Kai for some reason. I just knew it existed. I won't hating on it. I was just like, man, it ain't like the old Karate Kids. I didn't even know they brought William Zabka and Ralph Macchio back. I didn't even know about that.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to it.
Okay. Well, I mean, it would have been I don't want to say it would have been a bad show without them, but you can't have. It would have been terrible. Yeah, you can't have Cobra Kai or Karate Kid, but you can't have Cobra Kai without Johnny Lawrence, and you can't have Miyagi Do without Daniel LaRusso.
Yeah, and when I forgot what I was doing that night. I was just on Netflix and I saw Cobra Kai. I was like, let me start it. I didn't even know. See, I saw Johnny. I was like, oh shoot, okay. I was like, it'd be cool if they bring Daniel back and he's there. I'm like, oh shoot, okay. I can get behind the show now. So that's a cool little detail I had saw.
The last point that I wanted to make, the way that they are, or the way that they have written this season, the way that they're tying things in from the original movies and into the earlier parts of the show and to where they're at now, I think with this being the last season, the writers are very well aware, like, let's go out on a bang.
Yeah, send off.
Yeah, again, them basically going back into the past of Mr. Miyagi, exposing us to things that we never knew about him. And then we're even seeing more flashbacks of a young John Kreese and Terry Silver. I think that there's going to be a lot more revealed about the past of all of the OG characters. I think that we're going to get some secrets exposed about Chosen, Johnny, and Daniel. Things that, like, even though we think that we know the worst about all of them, I think there's still a lot left to come out. And not making this all about the drama, but that's kind of what's making this season so far is the conflict, the drama. And they're not even aware that Cobra Kai, well, they're aware in the last episode that Cobra Kai is back on the scene. Of course, they're at the competition.
Yeah, Sakai.
Yep, and it's going to be very interesting to see how all of this plays out. I think for our main characters like Johnny, Daniel, Chosen, we can expect a good ending for them.
Hopefully.
As far as Kreese and Silver, I don't know. Not saying that they're going to die. I don't think that will happen. But I'm very curious to see how this Karate Kid saga comes to an end, if this is indeed the end. Like, I'm very curious to see how they're going to do that, because there's a lot that still has to be addressed, and you have 10 episodes left, because part 5 is back in September. I'm not part 5, but part
November 9th or 15th, I cannot remember.
Yes, and then sometime next year, I believe early in the year, we get part 3. So I mean, there's still time for them to tell certain stories, but it's like, how are they going to combine all of this together and give us the perfect finale? That's what I'm looking forward to seeing. But so far, they're doing great things. They caught me off guard. Yeah, and when them starting this tournament already, it's like by the episode 5, 6 through 10 or whatever they do. I really wonder how they're gonna fit that in, because like, ain't no way you had this tournament going for 10 episodes. That would be terrible. I agree.
So more likely by episode 7 or 8, they're probably back in America, and so I really wonder how they're gonna end the series after that. I mean, I think all the kids, at least the main characters, they're in their senior year, so I'm really curious to see how it all ends.
Do you think we can expect more fights between Johnny, Chosen, Daniel versus Terry and John?
That's if they get out, but we'll just see how that plays out. I don't know how they're gonna do this.
That's what I'm predicting. I'm predicting there's gonna be a big showdown between the guys that I just named.
Yeah, I hope they end the show off well. I really like this show, and it's kind of weird because I kind of wish that I seen it as the seasons went on. I'm kind of glad I saw it all at once, basically.
Yeah, but that'll do it for today, guys. Comment down below what you think about Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 1 so far, and what do you think is going to happen moving forward. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty of content on the way. We will continue to cover Karate Kid and just more film and television in general. But thanks again so much for watching. We appreciate all the love and support. And until next time, peace and love to everybody.